Today we're going to look at a famous speech given by Steve Jobs back in 2005. Why? We want to learn new words. We want to expand our vocabulary. I was lucky, he says. I found what I love to do early in life. How important it is to know what you want to do, what you love to do. We often know what we don't want to do, what we don't love to do, right? Waz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in the garage into a 2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. With over 4,000 employees, with more than 4,000 workers. Over, more than. Employees, workers. We had just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I had just turned 30. Released? So they released the product, they made it available to the public, available in stores, and then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, that's a good question. If it's a big company, at some point you have to take investors on board and sell them some shares, give them some equity of the company. Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. Run the company? How can you run a company? To run, to manage, to be in charge of, to make important decisions about the future of the company. We can run a company, we can run a business, we can run a store. The verb run has, I just looked it up, it has, wait a second, I'm still scrolling down. Can you imagine? 33 meanings. Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge. And eventually we had a falling out. Our visions of the future began to diverge, where our visions of the future went in different directions. To diverge, to separate. It's a formal word, not a very common word, and they had a falling out. Now, this one is much more common. If people fall out, well, they have an argument and they stop being friends. So they had a falling out. They were not on good terms. They had a fight, they had an argument, they saw things differently, they wanted different things for the company. They fell out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. Our board of directors, board group, a group of people, a committee, a group of people who make important decisions about the future of a company or school, so on. So they took his side, they supported the other guy in this argument against Steve. So at 30, I was out and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, and that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. Entrepreneurs? An entrepreneur is a person who starts their own business, who runs their own business. I let a lot of people down. I wasn't a good example. I failed. And that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. Now in sports, you're not allowed to drop the baton. If you do, you get disqualified. Your team gets disqualified. You can't take part in the competition anymore. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyes and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. He screwed up, in formal English, he screwed up, he made very bad decisions that had very bad consequences. He screwed up, he made mistakes. He messed up, we can also say. Screw up, mess up, make a big mistake. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley, the Silicon Valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. So he began to realize something. Right? We associate dusk with darkness and dawn with light. Something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did, and that's what he realized. He realized that he loved his job. It dawned on me that I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I had been rejected, but I was still in love, and so I decided to start over. I had been rejected, I had been turned down. They said, well, we don't want you, we don't need you, just go away. We're better off without you. He had been rejected. They said no to him. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. It's a blessing in disguise, we can say. A blessing in disguise is a situation that looks terrible, looks bad, but you end up getting something good out of it. It turns out to be a good situation. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. So this burden of running a 2 billion company had been lifted off his shoulders. No pressure, a lot of freedom, do whatever you want. By the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, and another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Well, he didn't waste any time, right? He was quite productive, started 2 companies, Next, Pixar. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film, Toy Story. I haven't seen Toy Story, by the way, have you? Let me know in the comments. And is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple. And the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Laureen and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. Now, this is the third conditional sentence, an imaginary situation in the past, something that didn't happen in the past. He got fired from Apple, right? So that's what happened. But if he hadn't been fired, and this is imaginary, if he hadn't been fired, he wouldn't have started the 2 companies that he did. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. Faith, hope. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. I'm convinced, I'm sure. I have no doubt in my mind that the only thing that kept me going was my passion. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. Fill a large part of your life to fill, well, to make something not empty, to put things inside. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And that's his argument. You've got to do great work and you've got to love what you do. And you can't do great work if you don't love what you do. So it's connected. If you haven't found it yet, just keep looking. Don't settle. Don't make any final decisions. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. As the years go by, as time goes by. So keep looking until you find it. Don't settle. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.